Hello everyone, it is Doc Hitchcock and I am back from Australia and New Zealand, but unfortunately only for another day or two as I have to go to London tomorrow for a few days. And forgive me, I'm quite jet lagged still from literally being on the other side of the world. But I wasn't intending on doing another video, but when I got back from Australia, there's like a pile of boxes with puzzles in it that had come. And all of them looked so tempting, so I opened all the boxes, lots of great puzzles. I'll put a picture here of the puzzles that I'm talking about, and as you can see, there's quite a few that I thought I really wanted to attempt before I got back on the plane to London. Now that being said, I've been so jet lagged I haven't been able to do much with the puzzles, but this one, I figured I would give it a go while I am awake for the next few minutes. So I thought about the other ones. This was the one I chose to do. This is called UPLIFT, and it's by Dedwood Crafts. Steve Dixon at Dedwood Crafts. He's the guy that made Angry Walter, Walter's Radio, amongst other puzzle boxes. He's well regarded in the puzzle community, but this is his one that actually kind of looks like a Roomba, right? But this one is called UPLIFT. And on the messaging boards, it kind of got a little bit of a controversy going about how easy it was and that it wasn't worth the price tag of somewhere in the range of $450 some. So we are going to solve this together to see whether or not the puzzle either lives up to this dubious reputation or if it surpasses and is actually something to be hyped about. So one of the things that you notice about the puzzle up front is that it's quite beautiful in the wood. You can see the striping pattern kind of almost moves when you tilt it back and forth. If you look at that, like this stripe right here, when I tilt it here, you can see kind of like disappears a little bit. It's kind of a optical illusion or something, but it's quite nice, well finished, well stained. You know, it moves nicely. It's not sticky from whatever finishes or varnishes they use. But some of the other features are that there's this little button here on the side that you can push in. And it feels like it's either spring-loaded or some sort of magnet in there. And then you have something that I discovered that I won't quite get into yet, but there is this whole thing where it turns like this. And so this is called UPLIFT. I'm not sure why it's called UPLIFT. I guess we'll figure it out. Is it because it's a Roomba and it's uplifting the dirt? Is it because it's going to make you happy and this turns into a smiley face? I don't know. It kind of looks like a pacifier there, right? And if this is a baby's face, I don't know. Again, I'm jet lagged and delirious. But after the title, there are going to be spoilers because we're going to solve this, so you have been warned. All right, before we get started, let's take a look at what this card says that came with it. It says, "Thank you for purchasing UPLIFT from Dedwood Crafts. Rules: no force or prying necessary, no striking or hitting, no crying or whining unless necessary, and the goal is to find the hidden compartment." One of the things that I did while I was fooling around with it was I did push this and pull on this because, I mean, it's pretty obvious this is going to be some button or something. It's not just going to be like a handle. But I pulled it and I found that immediately I found that this came out. It's held on by this magnet here. And interestingly, what I saw was the maker mark there for Dedwood Crafts. Now, at first, that kind of gave me a little bit of dread because the goal is to find the hidden compartment. And on the message boards, there was this little controversy because somebody had made this comment, whether it was joking or not, that this was way too easy, that it wasn't worth the money. So that being said, when I saw this little cavity here as it spins around, I got a little bit worried that we had just solved it because we had found this hidden cavity. Given the reputation of the puzzle creator, I can't imagine that he would stop there and call it a day. Now, additionally, there's that little button that we saw over here. That would mean that that's useless, but that being said, there have been times where puzzle creators have made red herring type of things to make you go one direction thinking you need to do something and you didn't, and so it could be that that's the case, but I'm going to assume it's not. I just can't believe it. So let's see what else we can find. One of the things that we know is that this is a magnet here, so we can look around and see, okay, like already I can feel, let's see if if the camera can pick it up. If I go like here, see that? When I get there, pushes it out, so there's a resistance there, so there's an opposite pole magnet, on both sides there. Let's see if there's anyone here. So just on these two sides here, and then we have the attracting magnet there, and then let's see if anywhere else. Oh, right there. So there's one big one right there. Right there, and it's repelling it. So that makes sense because this probably is like in the spindle of this thing that turns. So that probably means there are more mechanisms. At least one or two, because there's two magnets here and one here, and I just can't see why those would be there if we were already done. And I'm thinking that this right here, this button actually might be tied to this magnet here. So I guess we could convince ourselves that if it's a red herring, would take care of that, but it doesn't describe these magnets here. So let's see what we can do with this button maybe. Maybe if So if we look in this little cavity, you can see that there's actually, it's not just one big piece of wood, there are layers to it. So I'm wondering if like different sections spin in different ways based on some way of getting them separated. Oh, maybe these magnets hold, so maybe if I like hold this one and push it, no. Okay, so while I'm turning it here, if I push down on this, it kind of gets a little bit of wiggle. And as I'm turning it, it kind of gets caught a little bit around right here. So I think there's something, oh, hold on, it goes further. Oh, something just caught. Okay, so something just caught. So if I push this down, it goes down pretty far. Let this go. Okay, it's not popping back up. So I wonder what that does. Oh, so maybe I need to hold it. Okay. Hold it down and then, oh, it's staying, but the top is turning. Yes, I was right. So there are layers. Oh, look at that. It's like, there's the magnet we were seeing. Wonder if I go the other way. Oh, it gets caught again. Oh, geez. Let me see if I can turn it the other way. Oh, I can see. And there's the other magnet. It looks like this little piece might come out. And, oh shoot. All right, so let's just take a look. We got another one here, another one here, and another one here. And then we go back to the beginning. And this is the only one that looks like it's separate. The rest of them look like they're together. So I'm wondering if that has to do with secret compartment. This is the only part that's kind of separate. These are all in the same piece of wood, it looks like. Oh, and there's a little hole there. Nothing in there, so maybe that's where a tool goes? All right, let's push down on these. Oh, gotta push this. Nothing's going there. Nothing's going there. So the same mechanism, oh, look at that. So the same mechanism obviously doesn't hold true for these other cavities, but there's a little cutout right there. See that? Right there. So let's push that. Then moves. Pushing that, I don't think it moves. Let's see if the other ones have one as well. I don't see one in there. Oh, wait, in the back there, something, let me see. So this middle piece here, look at that, actually is like a little button. All right, so what does that do? It's like a little mechanism, see that? See if I push both at the same time, maybe? Well, there's the same thing on the other side that we saw there. Oh, this one pushes in. Ah, you know what? It's counter lever or whatever it's called. Yep, and so yeah, look at that. A little, see that? It looks like a piece of plastic. I think that might be a tool for that hole that we saw right there. So, it seems to be the right size. Let's go ahead and put that in there. And now what? Do I push this button? So I wonder if I can push that back out now that the thing, no, it still doesn't move. I'm not sure what that does. I cannot figure out how to make this thing work. I tried pulling this down and thinking that that would like fall into there, but if you look down in there, it's solid. There's no holes or anything. So I'm not sure what this does at all. I'm wondering if this is a red herring. So the question is then, do we need to use this? And if so, for what? Because there's no other holes, right? That was the only one? Yeah, it's the only one. Can I get this out maybe somehow? Now, how am I gonna fit that through that? Yeah, I don't think so. I can't lift this out. I was thinking because it was called uplift, I'd be able to like uplift something or lift something out, but I don't seem to be the case. I wonder, I'm gonna put this aside for now, but I'm wondering if I have to hold, kind of like this button was held to push that other thing down. I'm wondering if I have to hold this while doing something, but I can't really go far because, you know, my finger is in the way and I can't do anything else. There's no other buttons other than this, and this is already pushed in. So, like, I mean, can I use this to like somehow wedge it to keep it down? Well, then that would be in the way. Oh, maybe this. It's like a little, oh, so right here, I can feel like there's, when you feel like the ledge on top of this little lever button thingy here, there's actually a little cutout that's almost the same size as this. So I'm assuming now that if I push that in, it sticks in there a little bit. Right. So look, it keeps that depressed. So I guess now the question is, what do I do now? Let's see, can it lift out now? No, still doesn't lift out. Oh, it's stuck again. Open that back up. I can do that. All right. So, let's see. Oh, well, that's just that door again that we had. So if we close that, oh, wait a second. Wait a second, that didn't push in before. There's another tool, I bet. Oh my gosh, happy Halloween. Oh, that's kind of scary looking. I'm afraid to touch it. Am I supposed to take this out? I'm not sure if I'm supposed to take it out or not. Is this like another tool? It's so gross. I hate spiders, guys. I don't know. Is that the hidden compartment? Is that what was the goal? I mean, it's very funny, appropriate for Halloween and all, and it did kind of scare me when I saw it. But, oh, is that why it's called uplift? Because this is a Roomba and it sucked up the spider in the vacuum and we just freed it? I'm gonna have to ask if that's the case, because if it is, that's pretty funny. I'm not sure if we solved it. I'm gonna say we did because I am tired and jet lagged, and that was a great place to stop it. So let me reset it and then we'll do a quick review. All right, there you go. and that is the Reset Uplift puzzle. All right, I will say that, you know, now that we know all those steps, it is a relatively few simple set of mechanisms. It was called sequential discovery, and there is kind of one tool. Others are buttons and stuff, which, so I guess that is technically correct. It's kind of more of a puzzle box, really, which is fine by me. So it's kind of like sequential discovery light slash puzzle box. I will say that if that theme was correct, that is hilarious. The spider's appropriate for this time of year as we're approaching Halloween. So I will say gave me a huge chuckle. So kudos for that. I love it when a puzzle makes me smile, and when the end solution, although seemed a little bit vague, not vague, a little bit unsure that maybe I'm missing something. Beautiful wood, fun puzzle, kind of very satisfying in the way that it solves and the way that you manipulate it. So the real question is it worth the splurge? Is it worth it? I would say yes, at least for me. Now, would I say if you're gonna have one $500 puzzle, would this be the one to get? That would be a no, absolutely not. There are several other puzzles that I feel like you could spend your money on and get way more puzzling if that's your thing. If you're looking for art, the Karakuri puzzles are very simple, but they can be very expensive as well. So if you're into that type of thing, this is definitely up your alley. But I gotta say, there was some really tricky stuff in there. There was, you know, the fact that we saw the maker's mark up front with a little cavity, kind of threw me off as to what I was looking for. There was also that little red herring with the plastic piece that looked like it should have gone into that one space where in actuality was used to wedge that other mechanism. So there was some tricky stuff in there. So definitely some great puzzle solvability with this. It looks great, it functioned immaculately, and I'm definitely gonna, oh, and it's also very solid. So I'm not gonna be worried about sharing this with my friends at parties and such and letting them try to solve it. And in all actuality, this will be one of the best ones to do that with, because they won't have to worry about breaking it, but also it's not super, super, super hard. This one I think would fall right into the happy medium of challenging, yet not so challenging that it's not fun for people who aren't the hardcore solvers. So there you go, Uplift by D. Dixon. So I would say if you want to get one of these, grab it when you can find it. And if you don't, or you can't for some reason because of the cost or whatnot, or the availability, I hope you at least enjoyed solving it through my eyes. And until next time, I'll see you later, guys. Goodbye for now.